everybody has been having the most anxious period when it comes to job security. Yes, there's talks about it, but I don't think we are like truly sitting down and like, embracing that anxiety, because if you do that, that means you have to sit with the realization that, oh, actually the situation is kind of terrifying at the moment.
I'm going to jump in real quick. Let's be really honest. How many people will sit down here and be like, so I was struggling to find a job for like X months. Like nobody will say it,
'Cause
honestly.
it's brutal, it's scary, it's like, horrifying.
Sit still, look pretty.
Hello and welcome to Sit Still, Look Pretty. Happy 2026!
Happy 2026!
It feels so nice to do this together.
I know. I feel like it's been so long since I don't even know what was the last. Oh, okay, I can't say that. I know what was the last episode that we recorded together, just that it's been some time.
That's one thing, but it's been so long that we've sat together without a script, without anything planned, just like, just for the vibes.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it just feels like home.
I missed it very much. I feel like this is the first episode, if I can be very, very honest, that I don't feel nervous. Because I feel like every time I was recording over
Are
there.
you saying I'm not important enough
No,
to
I'm
feel
not saying that. But you know what I'm trying to get into, Because I always feel like when we interview guests here, at least it's you and me. So I feel like even though you're a little nervous, we talk about this all the time, that even though we are so nervous, like at least there's like both of us. So you don't feel that nervous. But over there, when I was doing by myself, I was like, I'm nervous and I have nobody and I have to pull this together.
But having said that, I just want to take this moment and say it. Fan. Such a fan. I think you did a phenomenal job.
The thing is, regardless of what I do, Priya will tell me, I'm your fan. I'm your biggest fan. Even if it's bad, she'll be like, it was great.
No, okay, maybe there's a little bit of bias, but honestly, even if let's pretend I'm a stranger, I would still be like, oh my God, she's so cool. I think we've had some really, really great guests from New York. So shout out to you for like finding them, getting them to agree to be part of the show and sit down, have such cool stories to tell. Guys,
I feel like in that way, the credit goes to both of us because they chose that platform to come on. They could have chosen some other podcast to go on, but they were like, no, let me go on, Sit Still, Look Pretty and talk to these girls, So
it's a good pat on the back right before we jump into some interesting conversations up ahead,
Yeah. So you want to introduce the topic?
All right, okay. We talked about it, so you don't have to. What we are basically going to be doing for today is just have a quick little catch-up session before we cut to our original programming, where we get to share with you about how the past year has been for us, share with you guys a high, the lows, and one thing we really wish someone had told us earlier so you don't have to find out the hard way like we did.
Okay, so are you ready? Because do you see how I planned for you to start first?
I know, of course.
No, but I want to let you know that what inspired this whole thing is I always feel that, I don't know whether you have noticed, but over the last 2 years, it almost feels like it has been a tradition whereby we always do like a wrap together.
Yeah.
So I felt like it would be very cute that, we get to like wrap up the year together, talk a little bit about it, because I realized that you and I, we don't like really sit down and like dissect like a year, like what went through a year together until like it's time for us to like record and talk about it. So I'm also very curious to know. Yeah. I feel like we used to do it at the initial years of our friendship. But as like time progressed, I feel like we got so busy that we no longer sit down there and like, ask each other like, oh, so like what was so good about this year? What was so bad? I feel like we talk to each other every day, so we kind of know what's going on, but we don't get to like really, how do I put this?
I know what you mean, because there was a point in our life where I think I can say, without it sounding bad, that me and Priyanka used to hang out too much because time allowed us to hang out all the time. So, we could have days where we talked about really bad things. We could have days where we talked about really good things. But now, unfortunately, we can't meet whenever we feel like. So I feel like whenever we do meet in person now, we really try to make the most of that
Okay,
meeting.
why are you making it so emotional now? You know that you are the one starting. First, we're starting on a higher note.
No, I think it's sweet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it
So
is,
like
it
we
is.
always tend to have like now that our meetings are numbered,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe it is a bit emotional. That we really try to make the most of it. So you're right. I guess it has been quite some time since we've been very reflective.
Okay, so are you ready?
Okay, let
Okay,
me
you're
get my
starting
notes.
us off first, okay? Tell me, what was the high of this year? Like one thing that you really felt like, okay, I feel like really good about it. It was a high point for me. Why? What was that? We'll celebrate with you right now.
Honestly, I would say for me, the past year, my biggest high would probably be the work gig that I'm on currently. Because one, I think it came after such a long wait. So it felt like, oh my God, am I ever gonna like get it?
Yeah.
So when it came, I was like over the moon. But I will be honest in the fact that it was something that's completely new in a sense that it's a genre that we've never done before, except probably in school. And it has always been a dream. So stepping into a world that's completely new was very scary. And it's also the first time I think I've ever done corporate. I've always done private work. Being directly under corporate has been a very humbling experience, to say the least. But I have to be honest in the fact that I think I got the best of both worlds. Because yes, I work in a corporate setting, but I also have the flexibilities of not being tied down. So I got to experience, maybe not in its entirety what it's like, but I feel like the gist of what a corporate girlie's life looks like without feeling like, oh, I got to spend the next 5 years of my life here, which has been really fun. So I've got like things like a work laptop. I got like a key card that
I just want you all to know that I'm very envious because I dropped them a very small hint, like a very small hint. If it's bad, you can be like, Priyanka, censor that out.
Okay. It's the first time we'll have a bleep in like Sit Still Look Pretty, I think. So, yeah.
If you guys want to know what Priya's gig is all about, I've probably said I want to work at this place like a million times in my life. If you know me, you would have probably heard me say this at least once. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, yes, right?
But I want to let you know that I was very, very happy for you. And I'm still so happy for you because I think there's always this thing like between us whereby even if one person achieves it, it kind of feels like two people achieved it. So I remember when you got it and like when I see you work, I truly feel like I feel complete. As much as it sounds stupid, I know, but I feel so complete, you know? And it's like exactly like what you said. I feel like this particular genre that you're working on, it's something that I can see it, that I don't see you at work. I don't get to go there and see how you thrive. But I feel like you enjoy it. And I can see that. Like from the way, because I always know this thing about me and Priya, but if we put in extra work, that's only because we enjoy it. If we truly despise it, you'll never see us going the extra lap. So, and I see Priya doing that like quite a lot. Like you doing things out of like your own will. So it's very nice to like see that part of you, you know? Yeah.
And it's like, I have to say, maybe this is not the right word, but it's like so bougie because I've never had it, right? I've never had like the work laptop, the key card, which to be very honest, I don't have to use because it just scans my face and lets me in.
Okay, know that.
So yeah, it's been like really fulfilling. And I completely agree on the point that I think me and Priyanka do live each other's like stories vicariously. So like I'm also a New York girlie even though I've never stepped a foot there. So I completely agree.
I don't know whether you feel this. I thought about this a lot. Like I always feel so, maybe that's the one of those reasons why I have never went to like a party. I have never done countdown parties or anything like that. It's because I always feel so off tangent on the last day of a year. Like I feel like so mixed with emotions. Like I do attend like I think for the last 2 years was the first time we attended our relatives like countdown party. But I'll be really honest, like I will be so quiet like over there. And it's not like, and I have noticed this weirdly, my entire family behaves that way. Like as in I'm talking about my own family. Like
for a minute I was like, where is she going with this? But I see it in you. We've never done a New Year's like Eve thing
Right,
together, even
yeah.
though we've known each other what?
Because I
8
always
years?
feel like there's a weird sense of sadness. And I don't know why I have this sadness like within me at the end of like every single damn year. I don't know why it happens. But it was also, this year was one of those years that I truly felt like, okay, I gave myself a pat on the shoulder because my highest high was something that I wanted for a very, very long time, which is to move to New York. I finally did it. I can finally say that 2025 was the year that I've moved. And it holds a lot of weight and importance to me because when I was going to bed, I reflected the number of times, only my parents will know this, that we have like checked into the airport, and when we are walking to find our gate, I will search for the gate that says Singapore Airlines flying to New York, and I'll always point towards that gate, and I will tell them, say that like, I really, really want to go. Their reply has always been the same: work hard and one day you will find yourself there. So I remember the first flight, still the Singapore Airlines like card to New York is on my room. So the amount of weight that it holds, it's there. It will always be there. It might not be everything that I imagined it to be, but that's
If you
another
want the
story.
tea, you should go and watch one of our previous Sit Still Look Pretty episodes.
Yeah.
Shameless plugs. Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, I guess truly that was the highest high. I don't think, I'm convinced enough that even in the next 10 years, this particular high will be very hard to beat. Yeah. But yeah, that's for me.
New York?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, yeah, it's hard to beat that.
Yeah.
But since Priyanka is so humble, let me list.
No.
But okay, I won't list anything. But I will say that I said this in the episode that I made you cry, but it's also the fact that it's one thing to move to New York for, I don't know, work, but it's another thing to move to New York to study, another thing to move to New York to do your master's, because it is so incredibly tough. And it's another thing to be doing it at NYU of all places. Like, I feel like the stacks that were stacked against you is like, you know, I can't even imagine. But your girl slayed them down like
No, I
nobody's
think you just
business.
solved like the puzzle where I said that I felt so sad. Like maybe because there's like that much of stakes, like what you said,
Yeah.
that sometimes it makes it very hard to enjoy the good part of it, if that makes sense. Because you are constantly like dabbling between the amount of stakes, the amount of people supporting it, the amount of work you're
Yeah.
putting in it. Yeah. But yeah.
But let me just be the voice that informs you of all the highs.
Thank you.
Because Miss Priyanka got all A's for her second semester. Let's give her a round of applause. But so proud because I was there for every late night and early morning Zoom call as she pushed through all her projects, stayed up hours studying, and oh my god, the amount of work that goes into, you know, a singular module is insane. To do that consecutively for 3 modules is 4
Yeah, for
4 modules. Oh my god.
You see how Priya is talking so passionately about it? I know that's because like she was painfully on that call with me. She was like, Priyanka, are you done? I'll be like, no. And she'll be like, okay, I will not ask her one more time because what if she flips at me? So she'll just continue. And then like 1 hour later, she'll go, Priyanka, are you done? And I'll be like, no, I'm still doing. And she'll be like, okay, I just have to stay on this call, I guess.
No. It's never with the intention that I have to be here. It was only with the intention that it pained my heart to see her staying
I
up like at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. still studying, and then having to wake up at like, you know, early and get to class and like get your things done while also managing Sit Still Look Pretty. I mean, Queen, come on.
To be very honest, I'll not wish my worst enemy what I go through. But I think I wanted this for so long. I feel like it was just natural to like put in everything that you have to do it. But I guess with all these things said, we have to talk about the low, my favorite part. Shouldn't be saying this so happily. But
What is wrong with you, Priyanka?
no, okay. Cheers. Okay, but in all seriousness, I will go first. I think my low this year was honestly friendships. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was wrong.
Yeah, I had a very strong feeling that no one will be able to guess this, but I think
But makes sense.
Yeah, the number of times I've been like disappointed on like just friendships in general, or the number of times I thought about like the importance of friendship, I think it was truly 2025. I don't think I've ever given friendship that much of weight ever in my life until like 2025. And it also made a lot of sense why this year held so much of weight to friendship is because I don't have my family with me. And let's be real, when you have your family with you, who sits down and think about like, oh, does this friend matter to me? Like I grew up like never like that, you know? If you're my friend, you're my friend. You're not my friend, you're not my friend. Like nobody cares. I have my family to go back home to. That has always been my attitude. But I think ever since I moved, I realized that no longer can be my attitude because you don't come back home to family. You can't go in with expectations of like the kind of friends that you want to surround yourself with. The thing is, when you want to have good friends, there shouldn't be any expectations around it. That's the correct attitude, honestly. But I feel like ever since I moved, adult friendships is something that I feel like nobody talks about. Like it's so easy to make friends when you're younger because there's no such thing called like preference. There's no such thing called liking. You have not like developed any much of your own attitude.
Yeah.
But I feel like as an adult, when you have grown, all your perceptions and everything is formed. So I feel like to open up, to click with someone, it becomes a lot harder. And being the kind of person that I am, my attitude, I'm like, I don't need friends, I will do well. So I just want to wrap it up by saying that in 2025, something that I really struggled with, constantly disappointed with, was friendships. At the very same time, I think something that also reminded me about how thankful I have to be, because I never had this realization until I moved to New York about like friendships in general. I think I took it for granted, to be very honest with you, because I think all my life I was surrounded with wonderful people, to the point that when I wasn't surrounded with wonderful people, that's when I realized like what a gift it is to like have good friends. So here comes the sisterly advice, because I don't want you guys to go through what I went through. I think something that now I would preach to someone else is to truly give yourself a lot of grace. Like sometimes I feel like we are forcing things. We want to force things and make things work, if that makes any sense. But I think friendship is something that you can't force it. It's very similar to a relationship, you know. When you go into a relationship, you can't be like, I want this. Look at who's giving that advice, but still. But yeah, in general, to summarize it, I feel like you really have to be patient. And I know halfway I kind of started to lose faith as to whether or not I'll find the right people. But I think something that I taught myself is you don't have to fake it. You don't have to force it. Naturally, the good people will find you. So never change yourself. I feel like that's the biggest lesson I've ever learned. And naturally, after some time, the people who you want to stick around with you will find you. So that's your sisterly advice for me.
But
Thank you.
very well said, because I mean, I feel like even when we became friends, you've always been independent, which is very easy to practice in a place that you were born and raised in, because you know A to Z, you know how to take care of yourself. But you put yourself in a place that you've never been, and then you're naturally gonna want someone to tell you, or like someone to experience the journey with, because it's terrifying and it's lonely and it's incredibly tough. So being in the independent soul that you are, and then having to start friendships at such a, like you said, such an odd age where you know what is your
you know what you want, you know what you don't want, and yet you need to find people. I feel like that's the worst punishment anyone can go through. But yeah.
But you did a good job.
Thank you.
I think whatever life threw your way, you handled it with grace, like you said.
Although Priya heard many stories, but
that's normal though, you know?
yeah, she can now name all the people that I don't like within her fingers. Okay.
But there's very few.
Moving on. What is your
now
low?
I will list off all the names. No, I'm just kidding. My low. I feel like the Chronicles of Priya and her work is probably the most talked about story, and Still Look Pretty. But I mean, if that's what's happening in my life, that's what you're going to hear. I'm sorry if you're sick of it by now. But yeah, I would say my lowest low is probably the waiting period that I had to suffer through till I got my current gig. I think if we all take a moment, everybody has been having the most anxious period when it comes to job security. Yes, there's talks about it, but I don't think we are like truly sitting down and like, embracing that anxiety, because if you do that, that means you have to sit with the realization that, actually the situation is kind of terrifying at the moment.
I'm going to jump in real quick. Like,
Yeah.
let's be really honest. How many people will sit down here and be like, so I was struggling to find a job for like X months. Like, nobody will say it,
'cause
honestly.
it's brutal, it's
Yeah.
scary, it's like,
Yeah.
horrifying.
Yeah.
So
But I just think that it's exactly what you said. Like, nobody talks about it because there's so much of like fear and weight to it. At the same time, it's been so bad. I say this with so much of like empathy and understanding, because I think, now that I've moved, like I'm also dealing with almost like a similar situation.
Yeah.
And I could empathize and truly understand when I was going through somewhat like a similar process, and I was like, this is times too difficult, because I feel like finding in a country that you were raised in, that's one thing. Finding
Yeah.
in a country that you were not even raised in to begin with, that's a whole new different like ball game you're entering.
Yeah.
So I really salute you. I also feel like this episode goes as a shout out to anyone like going through a tough time, because it's so like when a year starts, like nobody will want to start off a year like not knowing where they're headed
Exactly.
towards. And I feel like a lot of people are going through that, but nobody is talking about that.
yeah, and I think I didn't start the year, but I think very early on in the year, I was kind of like had nothing to do, and I was really, really like nervous and really, really scared. But on my end, I guess what I think I wish someone would have told me is, okay, to be fair, I'm not somebody who likes to talk about how down I am, or how like, or cry, or like even to my close ones too much. I don't know what's wrong with my personality. It's like 90% always stuck at a smiley face. Like even when I'm going through like really crappy moments, even if like I'm not, ready to have a conversation about, hey, I'm struggling, like things are really tough, I have like people calling me and being like, I'm praying for you to get a job, or like I'm praying for you to like find your next like journey, like it'll happen, like I'm so nervous, like I'm so, and I find that, I'll never take that for granted. I don't take that lightly at all, because I know that that's not the case for everybody. So it's a very sweet thing. But because I've been through this once, I want to say that you only fail when you stop trying, And I think it's very easy in this day and age to kind of look around and feel like really crappy about yourself, because, successes feel very extreme.
Yeah.
And it feels like, oh, if I'm not at that specific stage in my life because everybody in my age are at that stage, or, somebody I know is at that stage, that doesn't mean that, you're failing. And we've all...
Yeah, that's why I started laughing, because I was like, the number of times I called Priya and I went like, so this person's getting married. Am I supposed to be getting married? It's like, this person's buying a house. And she went like, is that what you want? Do you want to get a house? I was like, nope.
Yeah. So I think as long as you're still moving, you're still thriving. But thriving just looks different for everybody. It's never the same. So yeah, I feel like the moment you sit down and come to terms with the fact that, okay, my journey is different, my pacing is different, then you learn to find peace with what you have instead of feeling hungry and desperate for what you don't. So yeah, as long as you're moving, you're fine.
Well
Chill.
said, well said.
Yeah.
Very, very well said, actually, in fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, I truly feel like, if out of a 10 scale, how much would you give 2025? I'm just curious.
Oh my God. I feel like it has to be 50, right? Because I feel like when it was down, it was like really like down in the dumps. And when it was like high, it felt really good, because because I was
Because
down.
you went through so much.
Yeah, I was down.
Yeah.
So,
I completely agree with you. Like I'm on that page with you, and
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same thing. Like when I reflected, I feel like which is why I can't say like 2025 was a good year, because I was like, why is the good so good and why is the bad so bad?
exactly.
Like yeah. So I'm just glad it's over.
Before we close off, I just want to hear.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
She likes to do this where she
we-
puts me on the spot, and then I don't know what is going to come out of her mouth. But okay.
I mean, I don't. To be very honest, I'm not gonna sit down and hold you to any resolutions, because let's be real, it will feel like we're following it for January, and then by February you're like, what was my resolution? Like it's fine. So let's just talk about something that you're looking forward to in 2026 more than like resolutions or goals. I just want to hear, what are you excited to experience?
More than I think this year, by the end of this year, I would have finished my master's program. I'm done with like 2 years of masters. I finished one more is left. So
oh my goodness.
really, really, that's something that I'm really excited about. As much as I'm excited, I feel like I want to savor every bit of this incoming journey, because once you're done, right? You cannot experience the student life over again. So I'm just telling myself like it's going to be very stressful, but enjoy it, because after this, it's the working life that awaits the next year. So,
Oh my god.
but tell me, what are you looking forward to?
I'm very curious to see where we can take Sit Still Look Pretty, because I feel like without
See, she does
fail,
this like this kind of like a holistic answer, and then it makes me feel like, oh my god, like I did not think about that, but I do.
Okay, but I mean, very true though, because I mean, touch wood, but like I think we've constantly progressed in the venture of Sit Still Look Pretty since we've started. There's always been a distinctive moment each year that we've can name for every year that, you know, since we started Sit Still Look Pretty. So I'm very curious to see what our moment will be for 2026. So watch out.
Now that we have yapped enough about 2025 and we are moving forward to 2026, I want to take a moment to say Happy New Year to everybody. And we wish you guys a very prosperous, wonderful, peaceful, calm, and beautiful 2026. We hope to see Priya in New York, at least in 2026. If she still doesn't make it to New York, I have no words for her.
I'll start a GoFundMe page. Please donate for my trip to New York. Guys, why is it so expensive? I thought Singapore was expensive. And then she tells me New York's pricing. And
Priyanka
I'm
goes, I need
like,
a lifetime to say, if it's okay, Priyanka, just struggle and come back by yourself.
which is why I'm just waiting for Priyanka to secure the biggest catch in New York. She's going to settle down with him and she's going to fly me there. Right, girl? Isn't that the plan? That's actually what she's going to be doing in 2026, guys. Correct. She's on the hunt. Mr. Priyanka, where are you? Priyanka is looking. Thank you guys for sailing with us for the past year. I know it has been new. There's been a lot of changes. But I think we've received such wonderful messages and support from all of you who took the time to listen and be part of this journey as well. So thank you so much. And we hope to entertain you further, better in 2026.
With the new studio, as like Priya. By the way, Priya was very jealous that like I had a new studio in New York, and so she went
because
like,
I found
Singapore needs a new.
Yeah, I found it with so much of passion for you.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
really love it, by the way.
And I was
have
like-
fun interviewing whoever without me.
But isn't the studio so pretty?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So now I think we are up to par, don't you think?
She was just envious. With that, we'll catch you.
In the next episode and a new cup of tea, this is Priya
And Priyanka.
on Sit Still Look Pretty, cause girl, you're more than a quick gaze.
Sit still.